Thank you all for being here to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate Zoe becoming a bat mitzvah, and to celebrate our beautiful, beautiful teachers. This is the perfect week to have had Teacher Appreciation Shabbat, because this week we start to read the book of Leviticus. And in Jewish tradition, when a child begins to learn Torah, they're to start with Leviticus. A story is told that when Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Lubavitch, otherwise known as the grandson of the Rabbi from Chabad, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Ladi, that when he was 3 years old and 11 days, he entered into school. And he began by learning Vayikra. And he got stuck on the very first word. And that's because when you look in the Torah scroll, usually all of the letters are similar size. But every so often, a letter will either be very big or very small. And in Vayikra, the Aleph is very small. And so he asked, after his lesson, he asked his grandfather, because he, of all people, should know, why is the Aleph small? His grandfather sat for a long time, and then he explained that this Aleph shows us a comparison. The first man, Adam, he was the handiwork of God. God told him that his wisdom was greater than that of the angels. Adam, being aware of just how amazing he was, began to overestimate himself. And this led to his downfall at the tree of knowledge. But Moses, who had a soul deserving of wisdom, the highest wisdom and the closest relationship that anyone has had from his generation on with God, he was also aware of his own greatness. But he didn't get full of himself because of this. On the contrary, he was in anguish. And he would say, if somebody else had this opportunity, if somebody else was born into my shoes and had these gifts and had this chance, they would have done such a better job. And so, this is why the Torah says that Moses was the most humble man on the entire earth. And this Aleph, the Rabbi explained, shows that he didn't allow his amazing abilities to be his downfall. On the other hand, through his humility, he attained the closest relationship that could be attained with God, and was continually deserving of it. So why do I talk about humility on this of all Shabbats? It's because teaching is such a humble profession. Here we are celebrating you, our teachers, on this Shabbat. But to properly reflect the praise you all deserve, we would need to applaud you at the end of every day. Teachers are relentlessly diligent workers. I was reading an article that said that they make up to 1,500 educational decisions every day, serving the complex needs of all of their students at once. They're carefully carving up the minutes in their day to answer emails the night before, grade assignments, enter in grades, update their websites. They have to prepare for the upcoming day, crafting lessons from the past or from scratch, making connections to the ever-changing students' lives and vernacular, ensuring that they're meeting the standards that the state sets for them, while also meeting the higher standards that their administrators, their parents, and I'm one of them, and they set for themselves. They have to be able to rearrange and still fit everything in that needs to be taught. When we add celebrations, drills, assemblies, field trips, specialty speakers. They have to have excellent content knowledge while having excellent classroom management skills. And they have to meet requirements to continuously improve and to prove to everyone that they're still qualified to teach. The states expect much for professional development, and one would be hard-pressed to find a teacher here in our day school or in our religious school who doesn't exceed the expectations. They earn degrees and certificates. They attend community events, Shabbat services, and more, all to support their students. They make phone calls after school to parents. They meet and plan curriculum. They do so much. Teachers are among the hardest working individuals on the planet. Yet, they're so humble you would never know it. It's this humility that allows teachers to be able to objectively analyze her performance, be it in the classroom management or instructional design. She aggressively seeks out to learn from her failures. He keeps close tabs on how he's doing. And why? Why do they do this? We all know it's not for the money. And it's not out of self-obsession or a burning desire for a high evaluation score. It's because they care. Again and again, our parents share that what sets Beth Am apart is that they know that the teachers here genuinely care about their students. This week's reading from Leviticus discusses sacrifices. These teachers sacrifice their time and energy, their hearts, to make sure that each child has a chance to learn and connect and feel supported. We are also taught in Leviticus that when offering a sacrifice, no leaven shall be present in any offering to God. Leaven, which we know from the upcoming holiday of Passover, is dough that's fermented and risen, and it represents spiritually self-inflation and pride. There's nothing more abhorrent to God. In the words of the Talmud, God says to the prideful one, "He and I can't dwell together in this world." Our teachers are humble. Often so humble we forget to say what they do. Day in and day out is truly monumental. Today we celebrate you because true humility is being aware of your gifts and opportunities to grow. So allow us to applaud you and what you do every day during school, and our after-school teachers and our weekend teachers, all for our children. And in order to honor those special teachers, it is my pleasure to invite up two representatives from our board, Dan Levine and Stuart Ratzan.
It is my my honor to be here. I tell anyone who will listen that I'm a proud graduate of Temple Beth Am, class of 1977. None of my teachers are here. But the teachers that are here, we owe such a great gift of gratitude. Can you hear me? Yeah, we owe such a great gift of, such a statement of gratitude for the gifts that they've given to ourselves and our children and to this community. Tonight, in addition to honoring the many teachers that work at Temple Beth Am in the day school and the religious school and the after-school programs, there are a group of teachers that have served 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, and even 35 years. For 5 years of service, we honor tonight and thank Lisa Reichert. Yeah, please come up. We're going to present you with a gift. Jamie Williams and Marissa Young. For 10 years of service, please come up when I call your name. Barbara Fishman, Joe Carabell, Kim Lazar, Michelle Schur, Joanne Silberg, Leora Vogel, and Yannette Zalkberg. For 20 years of service, we invite Barbara Lang, Susanna Novak, and Paula Solomon. For 25 years of service, Drora Davis. For 30 years of service, Jane Grappel. And for 35 years of service, Hetty Hirsch. All right. Please, how about a great round of applause for these wonderful, fantastic teachers at Temple Beth.
On behalf of Stuart and myself and the day school and the religious school and all of our youth programming, and not just to the people being recognized tonight at some significant milestones, you can sit, thank you, but all of our educators and people involved with our education programs here tonight, thank you from the bottom of all our hearts. I learned a long time ago that an educator is a person that sees in you something more than you are at any one time, and then they prove it to you. And it's really a magical thing when that happens. So thank you to each and every one of you for having such a positive impact on each and every one of the kids that come through Temple Beth Am. Thank you.